I just wanted to say I gave the ring back. Told Edison I wouldn't marry him. I'll wait for you, Fitz. For as long as you need.
Oh, that, yeah. I changed my mind about that.
What?
Don't. Wait for me.
Fitz.
I don't know what I was thinking. Screwing your mistress is one thing, but marrying her? That's political suicide, really. I mean, you believe that my presence is more important than anything else, right? You must. You worked so hard to get me here.
Of course, I know this, and the rest of the world knows it. You also have a career in film.
I do.
You do.
I do.
And this little movie you have now called Django Unchained.
This unknown director, Quentin Tarantino, have you heard of the guy?
I've heard of him, and usually when I'm with him, I never get a word in it.
I know what that's like. I've been there.
This is the way it's going to be, okay? Yes, that's what he's going to say.
Jamie Foxx does the most amazing Quentin Tarantino impression. The next time you see Jamie, you have to ask him to do it.
I'll ask him to do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's speaking of Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
First, you're married to him as Ray Charles.
Yes.
In Ray.
Yes.
Now you're married to him again
Yes.
as a runaway slave in Django Unchained.
He's a much better husband this time around.
Much better.
Yeah,
he's trying to save you.
Yeah, in Ray he was sleeping around with other women and doing drugs, but in Django he spends the whole movie trying to rescue me.
And how have you and Jamie both changed in that near decade?
Yeah, it's really fun to work with Jamie again because we've both grown up a lot as artists and as people. And I know that I never actually could have done Django without Jamie because I had to go to such vulnerable places that were often really terrifying psychologically, emotionally for me. But having Jamie there, you know, somebody who is a real friend who I've loved and respected for almost 10 years, it made it safer, it made it possible for me to take those risks.
But in Django, this film, Quentin's film that you're in, as opposed to Lincoln, are both dealing with the same thing.
Yeah.
One is saying we'll end slavery through constitutional amendment, and the other one, Django, says we'll just blow everyone's head off. That
It's more of a by any means necessary approach.
Right,
yeah.
That's definitely
Absolutely.
it. So what did you think
I think it's really
about
exciting that both of these movies are existing at the same time, because I think the more kind of diverse we can be in our perspectives of history, the closer we get to the truth, because there's always more than one story to how things happened and how they unfolded. And I think that the end of slavery in this country happened because there were heroes that looked a lot like Daniel Day-Lewis, and there were heroes that looked a lot like Jamie Foxx. That it took lots of different people with lots of different tactics working passionately toward civil rights and equality for all Americans. So I love that in our movie language right now that we have both of these films to kind of tell how this change in our history was happening in different ways.
Well, in Django, Quentin put you through the tortures of the damned.
He did,
You know,
yeah.
I don't know. Was it something you said to him before you? I mean, put in that box, you know, to basically just be. No wonder you're running away.
Yeah, you know, and one of the things that really drew me to the film is I think so often in our film history and films about slavery, slavery has been really romanticized as if it wasn't that bad, as if black people were happy to be slaves, or, you know, people were mostly benevolent. And the reality was much more brutal. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to work with a director telling a story about slavery if the director wasn't intimidated by violence and brutality and gore and the dark side of the human soul, and all of that is true for Tarantino. So the film, I think, comes closer than anything I've ever seen to how horrible it really was, and the truth was, of course, far worse than even what we do in our film. But all of that serves a purpose. You know, we all kept reminding each other on days that Leo DiCaprio felt like, oh gosh, how can I continue to say these things? And on days that I felt like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can continue to be this woman. We kept saying, we have to be willing to go to this dark place so that the rise to his heroic moment means something, you know, so that Django's heroic journey is really coming from the depths of hell into his greatness.
Well, and the movie has some of the scenes to me that are toughest and scariest in Django are between you and Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, here he is being a
Isn't
house
he
slave.
brilliant?
He is. Well,
He's
I mean,
so
it's
brilliant.
I mean, this is what thing Quentin can do.
Yeah.
You know, this
Yeah.
is, and yet that is such a pressure, and you're playing a slave called Brumhilde.
Yes.
You know? And speaking German, was
Yes.
that something you picked up? And
No, but I will tell you, a lot more women in this world would speak very good German if they had Christoph Waltz and Leo DiCaprio as their German tutors.
That's right. His mom
It's
is
very
German. I forgot that.
inspiring.
They're there just laying.
Yes, they were there to help, and that was very encouraging.
It sounds
I have the
encouraging.
coolest German tutors on the planet.
Yeah, but you did say that over the 10 years with you and Jamie Foxx, that you are comfortable in your own skin
Yeah.
more so than that. Do
That's
you
right.
have a confidence in life that you've learned from your work in some way?
Yeah, I think I have more faith and trust, and kind of more surrender to just the unfolding of life than I did before. I think I was much more stressed out before.
My show here at Popcorn always ends in song, Kerry.
Oh.
It always ends in a snippet of a song that's in your. I mean, you did videos, Commons video.
I
You were
did.
you directed that, right?
Yes.
So you can't pretend a song isn't in your life.
Right? Oh, I was told that you do this, and I forgot to think about
Thank
it.
God you forgot.
Okay. So do I have to sing something?
A little
Is
bit.
that how
Yeah,
it
a little
works?
bit. That's how it works. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know what to sing.
No.
There's so many songs
No,
in
yeah,
the
but
world.
I only want a simple one. You were an only
Okay.
child. Maybe your parents sang something to you in the cradle.
Did they? My mom used to sing. Yes, my mom used to sing, I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around your neck, a hug around your neck, and a barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you. Yeah.
So thank you. This was
Thank
great.
you so much. What fun.
We were good, weren't we?